I'm glad you didn't show all three because I cry like a baby every time I see them. Well, it's so wonderful to be here to celebrate the second anniversary with everyone from IANGEL, and to tell you just a little bit about the Let Her Work project. It's a project of ERA to really help women who are facing barriers to get employment after they've been in the criminal justice system. And I think that the project really speaks to what everybody in this room really strives for, right? Giving women and girls a fair chance to succeed. But you know, the reality is that none of us can accomplish this alone. My organization has 10 employees. We run projects like this. We run state campaigns and national campaigns. We're fighting to make sure that there's equality and that there's economic security for women and girls. But partnerships are just so critical. And so there was one lunch I was having with the amazing, incredible, passionate, and driven Nancy Newman. And, I was complaining, and I just said, there's just too many women to help, there's not enough time, there's not enough people, and she literally went into her purse, and she took out of her purse these huge angel wings. No, just kidding. That was a little bit, that's for dramatic effect. But essentially she said, I have an idea for you. Help is on the way. And Nancy had a visionary idea that led to IANGEL. And to the Let Her Work project, Nancy and IANGEL said, let us help. I called her as I was really frantic trying to fundraise for this project, and I told her, listen, my funder really needs to know that I have more people to help me, right? That I have more people than just them willing to step up and help with this project. And she said, well, would an offer of 50 hours of pro bono help? Pro bono hours help? Would that help with your funder? And they graciously offered that, and that actually did do it. And brought that funder in, Levi Strauss Foundation. And because of that, ERA has been able to launch a project that has really had a very profound impact on women in California. The legislation referenced in the video passed. It was a bill to break down barriers to certification in nursing fields for women who have been in the criminal justice system. We were able to offer services to women who wanted to expunge their records when that was appropriate, who wanted to know about their rights, what they need to check out, what they don't when they go to employment opportunities and interviews. And I think what we were able to ensure because of IANGEL was that the most marginalized women in our communities, right, who have moved on from their past, who have gone to schools, who want to support their families, who want to be leaders in their communities, that they have that very fair chance to succeed. So I just thank IANGEL, my sisters, for all of your assistance, for those 50 hours, for the vision of this work. And I just really want to thank you and congratulate you on this second year, and I look forward to many, many more years ahead in partnering with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I wanted to introduce Rebecca Hooley. She is a member and treasurer of our board of directors. And before she comes up, I also would like to mention that the board of directors of this organization redefines working board. And beautifully they have stepped up on it weekends and evenings and countless hours before I came on the scene, but just from what I've seen in the last 2 months, these ladies are fairly spectacular. So with a warm welcome, please.
Thanks so much, Cecilia. We are so lucky to have you on board, so thank you. Tonight we'll be presenting 2 awards in the area of outstanding leadership in the area of women's human rights. In selecting our recipients, we wanted to honor women who inspire us from different generations, thus our theme, Generations of Inspiration. Our first awardee just graduated Berkeley Law in 2014. Despite just graduating at 27 years old, Joanna Chukliva has made significant contribution in the area of women human rights. Prior to law school, Joanna received a Human Rights Fellowship from the University of Chicago. With that fellowship, she chose to pursue human rights projects in Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. One of those projects was insisting widows of genocide start a self-sustaining business making baked goods. When I spoke with her about this project, she was very proud of it. One of the reasons that she was proud is that she helped these women develop practical business skills, but she was even more proud that she had inspired them to believe in their own vision of their future. They'd been told, to make various projects of beading things by international aid organizations, and she convinced them that they needed to believe in themselves and pursue their own vision. Despite her achievements in Africa, she felt frustrated by the legal impediments that she witnessed there, that she felt prevented them from leading happy and productive lives, including laws that barred women from having their own businesses. Based on this experience, she decided to attend law school. At Berkeley Law, Yohanna chaired a number of student organizations, served as an editor on the California Law Review, and co-founded 2 legal projects. One of the projects that she started, the Post-Conviction Advocacy Project, has led to 8 people being released on parole after serving decades behind bars. Balancing her domestic social justice work with a commitment to fighting injustice abroad, she also launched the International Human Rights Workshop that gave Berkeley Law students an opportunity to provide Liberia's Law Reform Commission with information on how to improve their sexual and gender-based violence laws. Currently, Yohanna is working as a litigation fellow at the ACLU of Northern California, where she focuses on criminal justice issues. So all of this is only a start, and if she has accomplished this much so far, I am sure she will continue to be a leader in this area. So please join me in congratulating Yohanna for her outstanding leadership in women's human rights.
Wow, it looks like an egg. It's pretty cool. It makes me feel like I'm in the Oscars. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. It's such a pleasure to be here. 1, because the view is awesome, but 2, because I'm among such amazing lawyers, advocates, movers and shakers, some of whom are my friends and my colleagues. And I just learned that my partner is watching this online from Kauai, so I'm pretty excited. So in the past, when I was given awards, I told folks a little bit about my work and how I got here. But this time, I would like to do something different. I would like to truly dedicate this award to the women in my life whose courage and resilience have inspired my work on women's rights issues in particular. I'd like to dedicate this award to the young women that I met when I was 16 years old and volunteering at an anti-trafficking NGO in Bulgaria. Those were young women who had been trafficked as sex slaves to Turkey and parts of Western Europe, who had somehow managed to find their way back to Bulgaria, but who still had to live with the stigma, the everyday struggle of having been through what they had been through. I would also like to dedicate this award to my students in Rwanda, who I'm going to send the video to, and who spent over 2 hours every single morning walking to school because they believed that education was going to give them and their siblings, they always think about their families, a better future. I recently learned that one of them had a baby girl. So this award goes out to Blondine, my student. And lastly, I would like to dedicate this award to a good friend of mine and a brave woman who's actually here with us tonight. Her name is Theresa Jackson. Hi, Theresa. She didn't know about this. I would invite her over, but it's a little bit uncomfortable up here, so maybe we'll take a photo later. But I do want to tell you about Theresa. Theresa has been fighting tirelessly to get her husband out of prison so that he doesn't have to die behind bars. In 1998, Louis committed a series of crimes, which were serious crimes, but thankfully nobody was killed. He was sentenced to 229 years in prison to life. He's already served over 17 of those years. He's not the man he used to be when he committed the crimes, and he still has over 200 years to serve. Teresa's family is, sadly and shamefully to me, one out of thousands of families devastated by a criminal justice system that continues to disproportionately target, incarcerate, and disenfranchise people of color. So I bow to these women, I really do. I bow to their courage and their humility. I bow to their everyday struggles. And I guess I also am using this as an opportunity to remind us all that whatever we do, wherever we are, our lives are interconnected with the lives of other beings on this planet. Sometimes there are physical distances that separate us. You know, Bulgaria or Syria or Iraq, they're over there and we are here. Sometimes there are racial, cultural, or socioeconomic differences and barriers that make it harder for us to feel the humanity in others that we perceive as different. But to me, those barriers are just that. They're social constructs. And as Dr. Martin Luther King once said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And ultimately, this is why I think that the kinds of networks that IANGEL creates are so meaningful. And this is why gatherings like this matter. And ultimately, I think this is why that I have chosen to live my life in service, freedom, and equality. Thank you all. Thank you guys.
Wonderful speech. Our second recipient, Andrea Carlise, has demonstrated an outstanding commitment to community service and pro bono work, as will become momentarily evident. She has devoted endless hours to service of women and girls through her work. And she is well known to members of women's bar associations and nonprofits, both nationally and locally and nationally. When IANGEL announced that Andrea was selected as a recipient of the award, leaders from women's bar associations across the United States flooded her with emails congratulating her, and many used the word well-deserved. Which you will see as undeniable based on her service, her record of service. Andrea began locally with Queen's Bench, which is a local women's bar association in the San Francisco Bay Area, which aims to advance women in the law and promote equality and opportunity for all women. From there, she soon moved to the state level, becoming active with California women lawyers. She progressed quickly through the ranks, and in 2002 to 2003, she served as CWL, or California Women Law's lawyer's president. From there, Andrea again ascended, and in 2013, she became the president of the National Conference of Women's Bar Associations, a national organization that works to advance equity for women in the legal profession and in society at large. At the same time that Andrea was leading those bar associations, she worked to improve California's laws through her service with the Conference of California Bar Associations. Through her work, she helped decide which resolutions the conference ultimately recommended to the California legislature. She also involved herself in crafting these resolutions, including a resolution to amend laws relating to marital rape, a change that was eventually made by the California State Legislature a couple of years ago. In addition to her involvement with these organizations, she has volunteered as a court-appointed special advocate representing representing children in juvenile court dependency proceedings, and assisted equal rights advocates to defeat a parental notification ballot measure. She has also served on the No Glass Ceiling Monitor Task Force of the San Francisco Bar Association, a committee that has the goal of increasing opportunities for women to serve in leadership positions in the legal profession. Currently, Andrea is the president of the board of Girls, Inc. of the Island City, which helps girls achieve their goals of becoming strong, smart, and bold. and generally helping girls to build the skills that they need to succeed. There's more, but I'm going to leave it there, except to say that in addition to her outstanding work in community service, she also has a thriving employment and civil rights law practice at Patton, Wolin, and Carlisle. So to recognize all the fabulous work that Andrea has done, please join me in congratulating her.
It does kind of feel like the Oscars. But there we go. So I am thrilled to be here. Thank you so much, Rebecca, and thank you, IANGEL. So like the Oscars, they told me I only have 3 minutes, so I wrote my comments out. I am a little amused that I am now representing the older generation. Because it seems like just yesterday when I became a practicing lawyer in 1990. And I have actually been advocating for gender equity since my junior high school government class debate in favor of ratification of the Equal Rights Amendment. And then, shortly thereafter, by supporting my mother's candidacy for the Colorado legislature during high school and college. Unfortunately, neither the Equal Rights Amendment nor my mother won those particular battles. But that didn't stop me, my mother, or my sister, who is here with me today, from continuing to fight for human rights and equality. I really got engaged in advocacy after I passed the bar in 1990 and joined Queen's Bench. It was there that I met our beloved Nancy Newman, and she encouraged me to join the leadership ranks, and I became one of her successors as the co-chair of the Reproductive Rights Committee. In the 20-plus years since, women's bar associations have provided me and countless others, many of whom are with us tonight, with a platform from which we can advocate for gender equity in the legal profession, on the bench, and in society. Through Queen's Bench, California Women Lawyers, and the National Conference of Women's Bar Associations, we have advocated for legislation and policy changes that provide for justice and ensure equal rights and opportunities. One of the first things we did on the Reproductive Rights Committee was to give out the Golden Diaper Award for the law firms that had the best parental leave policies. So we're still fighting some of those, actually most of the same battles. But my work with these organizations has also provided me with many treasured friendships and also a whole lot of fun. All of us here share a commitment to the rights of all people, women and girls included, of course, to a world free from discrimination and violence, where we can pursue our dreams and the careers of our choice. My work for Girls Inc. has also provided the opportunity to ensure that future generations of girls are provided with opportunities to develop their inherent strengths, to take on healthy decision-making, to boldly face challenges, and to carry on the fight for human rights and gender equity for future generations. Now, we also have IANGEL, and I celebrate with you this wonderful 2-year anniversary. And I also applaud you for the partnerships with organizations like Equal Rights Advocates and the Hague Domestic Violence Project. These provide us with opportunities to fight for gender equity by harnessing our legal skills to promote and help secure equality and human rights for women and girls locally, nationally, and around the world. Please, I ask you to please join me in supporting IANGEL with your time, skills, and resources. And again, thank you so much for this honor.